Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to lecture 1 of chapter 9. As you can see, the chapter is engineering alloys. Actually, we finished chapter 8 about phase diagrams last time. So they just wanted to divide that discussion into more chapters to make it easy for us. Otherwise, we will actually be continuing the same discussion here. It is just that, you see, last time also when you were doing lead tin alloy or copper nickel alloy or silver palladium alloy, they were also alloys, right? So phase diagrams are generally there for alloys basically, isn't it? But it is just that uh, we are dividing it into more chapters just to give you the feeling. And we will not cover a lot of this chapter, only a little bit we will see. Now, section 9.1, now when I say section 9.1, this is the Smith and Hashimi book. In Callister book, it would be different, so you don't need to worry about. But in the Smith and Hashimi book, section 9.1 is about production of iron and steel. That from the raw material, from the iron ore, how do they produce iron and steel? We have talked about it in different lectures, and in detail this should be covered in a course like manufacturing. So it is not material science related, but because they were talking of engineering alloys here, so they said, thought that this would be important. So we will not cover that. We will directly go to this next slide. Now it is a still phase diagram, so you can just consider it as a new example. That's it. But this example is now about the most common, the most famous engineering alloy of all times, steel, right? So we have done it on copper nickel system, lead tin system, and so on. Now we will do it on steel system. Steel, we add some carbon to iron and we get steel. So if you see the title says iron carbon system. But rather than saying iron carbon system, it is correctly called the iron carbide system, right? So it is for steel, which is iron and carbon. But rather than saying it an iron carbon system, a better name is iron carbide system. We will tell you in a little while, right? Now, steels are medium carbon steel, plain carbon steel, and so on. We call it a plain carbon steel, if we have not added any other alloy. Usually in steel, we add some manganese, some sulfur, some other things for special properties. But if we add only carbon to it, then we call it plain carbon steel. So we know already that because it is iron, there will be different solid phases. So you can see here we have an alpha ferrite phase. There is an austenite phase which will be called gamma iron, right? Alpha iron is the ferrite phase, then austenite, you already know that. We have the delta ferrite. But here in iron carbon system, there will be one more, which is cementite. We will see it later on. So all these four, alpha ferrite, gamma austenite, delta ferrite, and cementite, we will now discuss in more detail with the help of the phase diagram.